You know, I don't want to see it again. I didn't want to see it the first time. There's certain things that you can't unsee.
They say you can never go home again, and that looks to be the case with the upcoming reboot of The Naked Gun. What's the issue? The original creative team isn't involved in the new project, even though franchise co-creator David Zucker pitched a Naked Gun script to Paramount a few years ago.
Paramount is just going ahead and doing it. They haven't involved me.
So why would this happen? Why reject the man who started it all? Because not only did David Zucker direct the first 2 Naked Gun films, he, along with his brother Jerry and the late Jim Abrams, collectively known as Zaz, created the classic spoof films Airplane, Kentucky Fried Movie, and Top Secret.
Impressive.
So in 2017, David Zucker, Pat Proft, and Mike McManus pitched a 4th Naked Gun film to Paramount Pictures.
We called it Naked Gun 4, Nordberg Did It. Yeah, that was our title.
But rather than pitching another send-up of cop films, this new story was set to take the franchise in a little bit of a new direction. The script spoofed modern action franchises like Mission Impossible and the Jason Bourne movies.
Why not have, it's the son of Leslie Nielsen. He's a security guard somewhere. Then he gets mixed up in with the CIA, and then we changed it to Naked Impossible.
Paramount executives reportedly loved it, but somewhere along the line, the studio pulled the plug. Zucker never received any clear answers from Paramount, but suspects one of the execs took issue with a joke about a police officer adjusting her Kevlar vest.
The girl had a breast reduction because to fit into the Kevlar vest. It's like, not the funniest joke, but she said, I don't know if you can do that.
By 2021, Paramount had moved on, leaving Zucker and his team out in the cold.
And then I wake up to read that Naked Gun 4 is being done with Seth MacFarlane, has taken over the franchise.
Paramount pivoted to a new team, led by Seth MacFarlane.
At the time, I couldn't believe it because we thought we had a great script, and they loved the script from what we heard.
Now, it's understandable that a Hollywood studio would want to go with a comedy titan like Seth MacFarlane, the mastermind behind Family Guy, American Dad, and the successful film Ted.
I think when he came in, they figure, you know, it's that like that line in Fiddler on the Roof, when you're rich, they think you really know.
But it's fair to say MacFarlane does have a knack for irreverent humor, and he's also expressed his love for the work of the Zaz trio.
These aren't bad people. They love Naked Gun, Top Secret, Airplane, and it's very nice.
Directing and co-writing the reboot is Akiva Schaffer, a Saturday Night Live alum whose credits include the satire Pop Star, Never Stop Never Stopping, and the 2022 film Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Akiva Schaffer, who's written the draft with his team, has done a hell of a job.
Schaffer's joined by writers Dan Greger and Doug Mand, making a relatively young team compared to the original creative group. Even after having his script passed over by the studio, Zucker has stated he was still willing to contribute to the new film, only to be politely rebuffed by MacFarlane.
I kind of applied hat in hand to help or to be involved. He didn't want to meet with me. So, you know, that's his choice.
So what do we actually know about the Naked Gun reboot story? Well, for starters, it's a legacy sequel. Liam Neeson stars as Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., following in his father's semi-bumbling footsteps from the Police Squad TV series and the original trilogy. While Neeson may be a talented actor, Zucker has gone on record saying this casting decision was the wrong way to go.
I would not have cast Liam Neeson. You know, you can't replace Leslie Nielsen. That's the thing. It's the whole concept that I say it shouldn't be done is like going back to the old Leslie Nielsen model.
The cast also includes Pamela Anderson, seemingly playing Lieutenant Drebin's love interest, similar to Priscilla Presley's role in the original films. And actor Paul Walter Hauser is playing Captain Ed Hawken Jr., the son of George Kennedy's character. A speculation is the new movie follows the first film's formula, of a hero stumbling into a high-stakes murder plot and resolving it through comedic mishaps, but swaps out the baseball game finale for a wrestling showdown. The tone, though, will apparently be a little different, which might explain Zucker's beef.
I don't think the studios get humor anymore.
Right.
They don't know what good or bad is.
But some of you might be saying this movie hasn't even been released yet. Is Zucker rushing to judgment? Maybe, but the film's first trailer gives a sense that Zucker is probably right.
Thank you!
The trailer introduces Frank Drebin Jr. infiltrating a bank robbery dressed as a schoolgirl, quickly taking down the bad guys.
I just can't take this anymore.
The reaction to the trailer has been mixed. Some apparently love this kind of absurdity, but others aren't so sure, including David Zucker.
We never made Frank Drebin, Leslie Nielsen, into a clown. Even in the trailer, I mean, he's wearing these boxers that are silly. It's just, this is why I don't want to see it again.
Just gonna have to learn to forget.
Zucker believes the new team's approach misses the specific comedic rules that he and the Zaz team perfected, that they've gotten away from the deadpan humor, sight gags, and clever wordplay of the original Naked Gun films.
Is this some kind of bust?
Well, it's very impressive, yes.
This kind of spoof, it's not rocket science, but it's not easy. And I always say, kids, don't try this at home. We kind of know the rules. So, that's not to say that somebody else can't do it in their own style.
The reboot, at least in the trailer, leans into a broader, more self-aware meta-comedy style.
So I hate meta.
In spite of all the frustration Zucker's been dealing with around the Naked Gun, he isn't giving up. Even though he doesn't hold the rights to the franchise, he's still hoping to repurpose his Naked Gun 4 script as an original project, tentatively called Counterintelligence.
In my story, we're not doing a 60-year-old actor. We're refreshing it with a young actor. It would have been Andy Samberg, some young comic guy.
But as for the Naked Gun reboot, will it be a hilarious home run? Or should it be counted out? With the film's release in August, we'll find out soon enough.
I think it's going to open fine because people want to see Naked Gun.